For the past several years, fans have been talking about the failure of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We watched as fans walked away year after they complained about this movie or that TV series. How fans recognize that no longer is it about actually entertaining people and telling great stories that are inspired by comic books, and deciding to divert as far away from that as possible to make sure you push an agenda at all possible opportunities. And isn't it so ironic that it took the failure of the Marvels, the complete and total bomb, the worst flop we've seen in the history of the MCU, for the rest of the mainstream media to finally catch up with what fans have been talking about for literally years? The Marvels highlights the problems plaguing the MCU. Oh yeah? No shit. If only we'd been talking about it for the past 4 years before that happened. Nevertheless, now people are finally being forced to admit that there's a massive problem with the MCU. But a recent video that's been out there starting to get a little traction is showing so many people where the problems start. It's not just, oh, well, you know, the director didn't know what they were doing, or these actors aren't great, or the effects, whatever. No, it starts when the concepts for these things are happening in the writer's room. And this clip that the great Perry Chan put together for a video for Gary from Nerdrotic, this is going viral, and it explains why so many of these things are absolute catastrophic failures. Again, this is getting a decent amount of views on Twitter, but I wanted to go to the actual source right here. Why Hollywood is failing. This video came out probably a week ago or so from Gary. Let's watch the first 30 or 40 seconds of this thing.
I have to be honest, I was not very steeped in the comics.
I didn't read any comics or do any research.
I wasn't familiar with the comics. I wasn't familiar with the movies.
We didn't lean into a whole lot of the history of the comic books.
Yeah, candidly, we were not enormous comic fans.
So look at all these things we're seeing right here in the beginning. We've got Black Widow. We've got another Black Widow. We've got Shang-Chi. We've got Eternals right here. Let's listen to more.
We were not enormous comic fans.
I wasn't super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of like indie press stuff.
First thing I was told is don't read the comics.
Really?
As a creator, they put you in a bubble. They don't let you talk about any of the other projects, right?
You know, they're up for anything.
We ultimately decided to redefine it for the series and thought that it worked better for the story that we're.
Now, this is about Echo and how they completely changed her powers to be more in line with what the story they were telling, because the story they were telling was literally just about the fact that she's fucking Native American. They changed her powers to be in line with her heritage. That's what they did. They didn't give a fuck about the comic books. They wanted to do what they wanted to do to tell their fucking ridiculous story.
We're trying to tell.
Did you ever read you've never read the comic book?
When the DVD comes out, I'm going to read a Thor comic book and just see where we went wrong.
One of these days.
So this is what people have been talking about. There is no respect in these writers. I mean, these people aren't fans. They don't know what they're fucking doing. They're literally fucking activists. And in fact, even sometimes they get told not to read the comic books. You want to make sure that somebody doesn't accidentally try to respect the source material or something like that. Of course, ending it with this bitch, Taika Waititi. I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. Like, this is back for an interview for Ragnarok when he's talking about stuff like this. And I was warning people back then about what Taika Waititi was doing to Thor. They didn't want to believe me until Thor: Love and Thunder came out. But this video is getting a lot of interaction right now because so many people are shocked that the people in the writer's room just so openly and blatantly admit that they don't give a fuck about the comic books. They're not fans of this thing. This is what they've been doing. They've been hiring people that do not care. And as a result, what do they care more about than anything else? They care about pushing the message. They care about pushing the agenda. Hell, comic book lore be damned, fans be damned, whatever. They don't give a shit. And this is just one more great example. And the fact that Perry Chan was able to edit all of these things together is just so telling. And it's one of the biggest reasons why the entire MCU is in shambles right now. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.